new microphone, which is very appropriate for first video in a hot minute. Welcome. We're here early in the morning. I mean, not that early. It's low-key going to be about 8 a.m., so pretty much the entire country's already awake. But I guess kind of early to be up and at it for the type of work that I do. Got a little bit of it's not Instacart, it's kind of like Instacart Spark order. So I forgot to shop for stuff. But before we begin, I'm actually going to hop in there and check for some One Piece cards. I've got this big thing right now that I'm practicing like my discipline levels, and I think there's a real power in having that at like a very high level because it means that you're very much in control of your mind. You're very much in control of your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. So I ran into them yesterday. Here's, I guess, a story time. Yesterday was all about not giving in to things that I want and having the discipline to say no. I'm going to do actually the things I don't want to do and have the discipline to see them through the end. So long story short, I went into these cards. If you don't know pretty much any trading card, which, oh man, I could rant about that for a hot minute, is like really hard to find. God forbid if you're a Pokemon fan. So the fact that I was able to see these in stock after not seeing them for months at retail, because usually people will just scoop up anything and then immediately flip it for like twice the price or something. It was so tempting. They even had like a special edition freaking whatever type of pack at the bottom. I haven't gotten any in like a while for that reason. It's usually through the kindness of my friends like that I end up with One Piece packs. But I had to tell myself there and then, like, well, you know what? Right now, it's not about doing what you want. So you're going to turn these down just for the sake of practicing your discipline, and not only just say no, period, but just say no in a way that's like very full of gratitude, very like okay, like thank you for presenting me this challenge. I was tempted to give in to, I guess, desire. Technically, trading cards are freaking gambling, Loki, but I said no. But here we are on a new day. They got him, cool. If they don't got him, then also cool. Grateful that someone else got them. It's great that other people are enjoying things. Sick of the example, but hey, if they have them, I figure, okay, how fun. So yeah, it looks like someone completely cleaned it out. Unfortunately, there's quite a few things here. Overall, again, we got to be chill about this. Be grateful. It was fun to see them in person, I suppose, and I'm sure we'll get a shot soon. I think because I was able to say no yesterday, um, it means that like, when it does show up next time, I won't feel a certain way about it, and it'll be meant for me. Okay, while we wait for orders here, let's go ahead and get to a little bit of some doodling. And something that's always kind of been at odds, like pretty often, is just with the idea of like, I guess, like authenticity, just being yourself, but also, being disciplined that you can basically handle everything that life throws at you and you achieve, and obtain the things that you're meant to always have. At the same time, also seeming confident in yourself, like you are like your authentic self. You are becoming, if not became, the exact version of yourself that you're supposed to be. Like you lose focus, right? Like take the trading card things from earlier. Like I think a major problem nowadays is people, like I think, lack the discipline to avoid just the instant gratification. Like I'm obviously like, subject to I like trading cards, but just everything's very fast, instant gratification. Like, um, not so much like that. It's like you're doing bad things, but it's like I think people avoid thinking about the type of person they are really. Like thinking about what they want, thinking about what they should be on the way to obtaining, and it's real easy to, I think, go down these roads or so whatever where you just get distracted. For some people it's trading cards, that's gambling, low key, bro, it's gambling. For some people, a big one for me is food. Yeah, just food's a real easy one to, like, I think, distract yourself from pain. Really just thinking again about yourself in general, like who are you, like who do you want to be, what are you currently working on, I think can be very painful if you're someone that like turns to these things constantly to avoid any sort of like, I guess, being alone with your thoughts type of energy. In any case, I always find myself struggling, I think, with like confidence in my own work. I've done a lot of growing, I think way more confident in myself as a person than I used to, especially like in my early to mid 20s. But, you know, I think there's also something to be said for keeping that journey going. And then I think once you hit a certain point, like you've conquered a lot of things, you've fixed a lot of stuff about yourself, it's like you have to continue to make yourself uncomfortable, continue to build the discipline that you'll need to really start to hammer down like the future way forward, you know, because the cool thing about overcoming challenges is that they get bigger, which means that the rewards get bigger, but that does mean that you're going to have to work harder, and doesn't necessarily mean like at work or anything like that. It's like, no, it means working harder on bringing out like your actual authentic self, like the 100% ideal version of yourself. Funnily enough, I just got an order, so let me think of what I'll doodle, and then I'll update you guys in a bit. So now that we're done with that, here I am sipping a coffee that my wife made me, which I think if there's any sort of point to this video, I don't know. But I guess here's the other part of what I was saying earlier. I think the other thing that people are very much missing is a sense of, I guess community would be the easiest way to say it. So some sort of team or something that where you feel like you belong, I think is missing for a lot of people, which causes a lot of pain and does cause you to turn to those things I mentioned earlier, where you don't want to think about your situation, and it's easy to turn to something that's very instant, very surface level gratification. But sipping this coffee, which is, you know, the real thing I really appreciate my wife for, that she does that for me. I guess overall I just wanted to say, like, you know, if you find yourself feeling stuck or stressed, you know, don't trip out too much, you know. It's just a matter of like needing a little bit more discipline in order to just refocus your mind to have good thoughts again when you're in the bad situation, you know, learning to be grateful for the bad stuff too, as it's happening to you, these adversities, to just kind of like soak it in and not invite more of it, but just be like, you know, thank you for this way this is making me feel, you know, I'm going to overcome it. And that helps out, I think, when you have, you know, people helping you out, because no one can really do this journey alone, you know. People who are vibing with you, people who are supporting you, that know, because I know that I'm not perfect whatsoever, for sure, but people that can help you out, you know, when it's obvious that you're stuck or there's something about you that you're not quite sure what's up. But the other half of that, of course, is it really is as simple as just like getting back to it by making sure that you're disciplined enough to not turn to those instant things, and just really soak yourself in the situation and move forward. You know, one of the advantages of this mic, it's kind of cool actually, is that I can actually change my backdrop for once. So I'm finally free from the car. I think overall, add this to this video because I don't know what the point of this video is or what I'm talking about. But one thing I think overall trying to solve, was kind of working out on my head today, is I know I've got these gifts, like I'm a very creative person, but I think it acts as a part of me, axis, I don't know what the plural of that is, but it's like a more, I guess, tender, sensitive part of me. It's very good at the whole creativity thing, the small details thing, which is like kind of, I guess where my main struggle can be is like, okay, so like, you know, you be your most authentic self, but you're also supposed to be very like resilient, I suppose, you know, like very like, maybe resilient's not the right word, but I think a lot of my bad habits tend to make you very kind of like bratty, very mean sometimes even too. I did 2 days basically of just, all I did was eat whey protein and vegetables. And I mean, I have needs, you know, I need nutrition, like I have a wonky digestive system. So I've altered it, but now it's like, okay, I'm gonna limit like all the fun stuff. I'm eating very plain, you know, just whey protein, yogurt, along with like smaller servings of what I normally eat. So like if I eat, you know, chicken, rice, and vegetables, it's that, but smaller servings, very plain, no fun seasonings or anything like that. I'm not doing that because I'm on some kind of fancy diet, but it is so that it's building my discipline, so I can say no to the trading card, so I can say no to what instant gratification, egotistical needs want. I know I'm probably cutting a lot. I'm sorry for that. There's just a lot of traffic here, so I don't know how the mic's going to react. But I think that's going to help me just access like that creative, more tender part of me, but it's not going to be attached to the whiny, bratty, mean aspect of myself that I don't like that comes out. And I think it's also just going to let me just be in that mode, be like my true self without being so obsessed with results, without being so obsessed with like, maybe not obsessed, but I think it's because it's so tender. Like I don't, no matter what the outcome is or what anyone thinks of it, not that I have like mean people in my circle or anything, but, or heck, no matter what I think of it, it lets me still stay in that flow state without tripping out too much. So let's see what we get up to here. I think we may end the video here, but this is actually where we'll end the video. Right here. You know, Saturdays are a little bit different. There's a concert going on next door. They've been playing Cranberries. I think I heard a cover of The Killers on acoustic guitar at one point. Now they're playing Nirvana. It's been a good time. But thankfully we're recording nothing that requires like a microphone, so the noise hasn't bugged too much. But again, Saturdays are a little bit different. Weekends in general are usually busier with orders, so I figured, okay, all I really had time for was to record a little shing-ding. Toss it in the video too. I guess we'll toss it up on TikTok or something too. And that was it, I guess, really. We'll see what tomorrow has in store for us. This is going to be I'm on to my last order here. And then after that, it's pizza time. We normally have pizza as a tradition on Saturdays, even though this video is not going to go up on Saturday. I was like, hey, considering all the sacrifices for food I'm making, I'm pretty hyped about pizza. But that'll end this video. See you guys in the next one.